You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Y&R fans, it's time for our weekly prediction edition. Claire is going to blow up on Victor, and Billy's hung out to dry with no place to go. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got predictions for Phyllis, for Claire, Nikki, and Victor, for Michael and Sharon, for Victor and Diane, and also for Billy. As always, our predictions are based on promos and official CBS soap spoilers. And hey, if you're not following us, please reach down, click subscribe. Let's dive right in. Our first prediction, Phyllis is put in a medically induced coma. So spoilers for Monday, November 18th, have Phyllis brain injured. Her brain hit her skull when the car hit the tree, and a CT scan shows swelling, and Elena says, we're going to have to wait and see. So on Thursday, the 21st, Elena shares her expertise and her opinion about what's going on with Phyllis and why she's still not awake and how best they can help her. That same day, spoilers say Summer has to make a hard decision. So it could be about Chance, or it could be about what's going on with her mom, because it looks like Daniel's off dealing with stuff around Sharon and Chance and her arrest. So maybe with this brain swelling and her not waking means that Elena needs to do something to intervene to protect Phyllis from brain damage or not waking up, make sure she comes out of it okay. Sometimes with brain swelling, they cut a little piece out of your skull for temporarily to let the brain have room to swell, and then they pop it back in like a puzzle piece later. Sometimes they drill a hole to let some pressure off. Other times they put people in medically induced comas just to give the body time to heal and for that swelling to come down. So maybe with Daniel off trying to get justice for what they assume Sharon has done, and him dealing with Chance, maybe Summer has to decide that that's what they need to do for their mom. So we'll see. Our second prediction, Claire snaps on Victor and rejects Nikki's job offer. If you remember, Claire turned down the job offer to be Arya's nanny from Tessa and Mariah because she decided she wanted to work for Nikki, even though the job hasn't manifested yet. But Cole and Victoria, her parents, did not think that was a great idea. They don't think she should be working for Nikki or Victor or then the Newman Corporation, but she seemed very insistent about it. So spoilers for Monday the 18th have Claire stunned to find out the extremes that Victor went to punish Jack for trying to help get Nikki back on the path to sobriety, and her just stunned to find out that Victor lured Kyle away from his family and then dangled Glissade and had Diane publicly fire Kyle to humiliate him and Jack at the wedding as part of this revenge plan. And then on Friday, November 22nd, Victor is thrilled to announce Nikki's new role at Chancellor, presumably CEO. I do suspect that once Nikki is officially head of Chancellor, she's going to circle back around to her granddaughter Claire, expecting her to come on board. But I think she might get a surprise. Nikki may be stunned that Claire claps back hard on, Victor, now that she's seen firsthand just how ruthless he is. She cares a lot about Kyle, and Victor just used him like a tissue, wiped his nose and threw him away like garbage. And I think she may heed her parents, Cole and Victoria's warning, and turn down the job, and that may absolutely infuriate Victor. Our third prediction, Michael represents Sharon and prepares either an insanity or a diminished capacity plea in her case. There is little doubt that Sharon is going to need a lawyer soon. And of course, she has no idea that Ian Ward and Jordan Howard are involved and set up the car crash that happened on Friday and are engaged in even more chicanery. And with Christine representing Daniel, obviously she can't rep Sharon. So seems likely that Michael Baldwin, as the Newman's pet lawyer, will be the one repping Sharon. Spoilers for Monday the 18th. At Sharon's insistence, Nick calls Chance over to the house so that Sharon can confess to murdering Heather and framing Daniel, and insist that she's arrested and that Chance get the DA to drop the charges against Daniel ASAP. I'm guessing from there, Nick contacts Michael about defending Sharon. On Tuesday the 19th, Ian and Jordan again target Sharon. I suspect they're going to plant evidence to make sure that Sharon is thoroughly framed. Wednesday, the 20th, Christine and Michael debate whether Sharon is guilty or innocent. Daniel wants justice for Phyllis that same day. And on Friday, the 22nd, Chance investigates and finds compelling evidence pointing to Sharon's guilt. Because again, he just, goes off the obvious things that he finds, and he doesn't do any real digging. It seems pretty likely Michael would either plead insanity or diminished capacity for Sharon. Insanity, obviously, if you have some sort of mental health issue where you can't tell right from wrong, and diminished capacity is pretty similar, and it can be for like a medical reason. It's pretty clear Sharon wasn't in her right mind. And of course, you, the viewers, know that she didn't do this, which of course we're all thrilled about. Also thrilled they didn't make it Lucy or Daisy or somebody else random with, Heather's murder. And at this point, probably the best Michael can hope for is to get her into Fairview rather than prison, at least until Ian and Jordan are exposed. Our fourth prediction, Victor screws with Diane one last time. Diane threatened to sue Glissade over the product Kyle stole from Jabot, that sunscreen, something or another. She said she developed the product, and if she did, she might have some standing in court over the patent. Y&R didn't go into it too deeply, which is fine. There's enough business going on. And it was enough to convince Victor to hand over the company, which he didn't even care about because it was just a tool to lure Kyle away from his parents to get revenge on Jack. But I don't think Victor's quite done messing with the Abbotts just yet. Monday the 18th, Jack and Diane reveal their breakup is fake and the links they went to show Kyle that Jack was the target of Victor's revenge plan and Kyle was just a pawn. They tried to tell Kyle back then, but he wouldn't listen, and they felt like they had no choice but to engage in subterfuge to force Victor to show what a jerk he is. And as far as Victor knows, Jack and Diane really are broken up. Tuesday the 19th, Victor gets the upper hand with Diane. There's a scene from the promo where he tells her that he sent her the signed paperwork with Glissade being transferred to her, and she asks if it's that easy. Well, I don't think it is that easy, because on Thursday the 21st, spoilers say, Jack finds out that Diane made a sacrifice for the family. So I just think Victor has made some final demand or ultimatum, like Diane has to show Victor a copy of their divorce papers to finish getting ownership of Glissade, or to revert back to him, or, something like she can't move back into the mansion for 6 months, some sort of twisted caveat in this game he's been playing with them. And I think Diane may cave to protect Jack and Kyle and prove her love for them. All right, our final prediction, Billy has got no place left to be. He's hung out to dry, he's angry, he's jobless, a little hopeless, and not sure where to turn. So last week, Victor used all the tricks in his arsenal to convince Jill to sell him Chancellor. He sold her a whole pack of lies about Lily wanting to go back to Winters, told her some fibs about Billy being incapable of running Chancellor, when actually it was Victor messing with Chancellor that was causing Billy problems. And Billy was being kind of a jerk, but if Victor had not been interfering so heavily, things probably would have been fine. But now that Jill has gone and done this, it's really messed up Billy's life. So Friday, November 22nd, Billy and Sally are fighting temptation. And in addition to that spoiler, there's a spoiler photo I can't show you for copyright reasons of Billy at the Abbott mansion talking to Jack, and it could be about whether he can come back to work at Jabot. I don't know how long Billy's going to fight temptation, because I think Sally's the only good thing going on in his life right now. But given how difficult Billy was before and some of the issues he caused at Jabot in the past, I don't think Jack's going to roll out the welcome mat, at least not quite yet, while Billy's so angry about Chancellor and Victor, because it's just not a good idea, at least not till Billy gets his head on straight and his emotions under control. And clearly with Nikki running Chancellor, if Jill made Billy staying on as part of the takeover, they'd probably put him in the mailroom or do like Victor did with Adam, put his desk in the bathroom. I don't think that would go well. I can't see him wanting to do that. Devon or Lily probably would not hire him at Winters. He could get a job at Crimson Lights making lattes since Sharon's about to be either in prison or at Fairview Psychiatric. One intriguing option that Jack might be open to is putting Billy over at Marchetti, which is a division of Jabot, and he could work with his girlfriend, Sally, not as a designer, but, management or marketing or something. And don't forget, these are predictions, not spoilers, but they are based on spoilers.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.